Welcome to our video series where we are going through the CAT or Computer Application Technology Prac Exam, paper 1 from June 2024. This is a supplementary paper for matrics for grade 12, so if you are revising for exams, this is a good paper to go through. We are going to do question 4, which is an Excel question in this video, and remember there is a link to the data files in the video description. Make sure that you download the data files and give the exam a go so that you can try it out and see which questions you need to get some help with. Don't forget there are also links to the other questions in the video description. So let's get stuck into question 4. So let's see if we can excel at this question. We're going to open up the 4 excursions spreadsheet. And again, always make sure that you are working on the correct worksheet. So I've opened it up already over here. There's 4 excursions. And the first question they ask is to move the trip worksheet so that it appears before the Q46 worksheet. So I'm going to come here and the trip one is there. So we're just going to drag it. So that you see the little arrow there, drag it so that it's before the Q46 one. And then it tells me that we're going to work in the trip worksheet. Make sure you're in the right one. So we are in the right one. Yes, we are in the trip one. We don't want to trip on this question. 4.2, insert a function in cell C3 to determine how many schools from the Eastern Cape visited the zoo during December. So if we look at the data in 4.2 over here, we want to find out how many schools visited the zoo. So this whole thing is about school groups in December. So that information is just about the school trip. So we're just looking at how many schools from the Eastern Cape. So we're going to look here. Each one is a separate school, I think. Each one is a separate school. So we're just going to count how many Eastern Capes there are. It's only 3 marks, so that's another clue. 3 marks. So if we did, like, for example, a count if, that would be using the count if, identifying the range, identifying the criteria. So I think that's correct. So we're going to go here, equals count if, and we're going to count if in this province column all the way to the bottom. And we're looking for the word Eastern Cape or EC because that is the code for the Eastern Cape. So there we go. I'm looking for E7 to E153, comma, and my criteria is EC. But remember, you must put your criteria in double quotes. So EC double quotes around it. So count how many of them say EC. Enter. So there are 23 ECs there. So I assume that's 23 schools. Then 4.3, insert a function, put the fun back in function, in cell G3 to determine the most frequent date on which the schools visited the zoo. Ooh, the most frequent. So there we go. What is the most frequent date? Which date is the most popular? Now, if you know your functions well, you know that that is what? It's the mode. It's probably only 2 marks. It's only 1 mark, actually. So we just need to make sure that we use the right function. It equals mode of the date. So we're looking at the mode of the H column. So we go through. Know your functions, know what they do. So we're looking at the mode of all of those. And the most popular date is therefore the 1st of the 12th, 2023. If you're not too sure about what a function does, if you know the names, you can go equals mode, and it actually, for example, if I put mode there, you can actually put your mouse over it and see what it tells you it does. So you can actually if you don't know the name of a function, then you can come here to the auto sum and just go to more functions, and it'll take you a while. But if you go through the different functions, if you know which ones you commonly use, so we go to all, and then we look for MOD, and we go to mode. And you can it'll tell you what it does. Okay, that's going to be very difficult to do though if you don't know what functions you use. But know your functions. But if you do get stuck, you can always use that to try to find out which one it is that you need to use. Then let's move on to 4.4, insert a combination of functions. Ooh, combo deal. Cell D7. D7 is D7. That's over there. Boom. To display the contact numbers in the following format. So that's the contact number. We want it to look like this. So we want to have a +27 with a space. So it looks like quite a few spaces. There are 2 spaces between the country code. Okay, so yeah, there's the 2 spaces there. So we want +27 and a couple of spaces and then the actual number, but we want the number without the 0. Okay, so we need to do a couple of things. So let's first get the +27. So it's going to equal to, and we put in double quotes because we want it as it is, a +27 with 2 spaces. You see my 2 spaces there? There we go. So that's the +27. Then on top of it, we're going to add the number. So to combine text, you use the ampersand or that and symbol. So if I just added the contact number like that, it's going to look like that, which is not what I want. I just wanted it without the leading 0. So I need to find a way to copy from the second character onwards. So there's technically a couple of ways. We can assume that a phone number is always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can assume it's always going to be 10 digits. So we could copy from the right for 9 characters. I think that would technically work. They don't mention that it is always going to be 9. I know in some places they are going up to 1 extra character. So you could have, so let's just do both options. You could have said we don't want to copy C7. We want to copy from the right of C7 and for comma 9 characters. If we did that, it would technically work. I would probably have done it where I used a mid. Now mid works. We're going to start copying from the middle of C7. Where are we starting? Well, we're not starting at character 1, we're starting at character 2. And how many characters? Well, you can say 9 or you can take 10 or something like that. Does the exact same thing. I would have probably done like 12 or 13 just to make sure that we cover any time there is a phone number where there is more than 1. I don't know if there are. It's going to take a while to check that, but that's what I do. They don't actually specify exactly that there are 9 characters in every phone number, but that's something I would technically have done. I think both of them will work if you did that like that. So just remember a couple of things there. Just remember that when you are adding 2 strings, that you add an ampersand between them. And if you want text as it is, you put it in double quotes. Then 4.5, 1 teacher per group of 30 learners or path thereof must accompany the school groups when they visit. Use a formula to determine the number of teachers that accompany the learners from the school in row 13. Okay, so F13, we're going to go F, there's 13. So for every 30 students, you need at least 1 teacher. So like you can see there, for 60, you need 2 teachers. For 31, you've got the 30 students, but then you've got 1 more, so that's why you got 2. So if we say equals to the learners divided by 30, we're going to get something like that. So it's going to be 2, definitely 2, but we need an extra 1. So how do we get, so we're not rounding it, because if we round that, it's going to go down to 2. That must technically be 3, because we need 30, 30, and those last 12 need its own teacher. So we need to do some sort of rounding up type of thing. Now there is a function called ceilin. I don't know if you know about ceilin. So ceilin is a function that rounds up to the nearest integer. So that technically would have worked if we said the number divided by 30 and we seal that number. What do we need another argument and significance. I think just a 0 I would assume would be the significance. Let's try to 1. There we go. I think 1 works to 1 decimal. I think that works. Ceiling would have worked, but a lot of people don't know about ceiling. But maybe is there a round up? Round up. I think that's going to be our winner. Round up. We're going to round up that formula, but how many digits? We want to round up to the nearest 0. Let's try that. And it will do that. The nearest 0 decimal place. So it'll look at the decimal place. So it would have looked at that 2,4. That 4, round it up please, 2, 3. So round up I think will work as well. That'll give me the answer for that. And then let's move on to 4.6. Data validation has been applied to column H. So if we go to column H over here, data validation has been applied. To go to column H, data validation has been applied. Modify the data validation rule for H1 to accept only dates in December. Okay, so let's come over here. So we want to do all of the dates for the column H. So we select all of column H. And we're going to come here to data, because it's part of data validation. And if I scroll across, it's difficult to see. It's that one over there, data validation. So that's the data validation. I'm going to select data validation. So there we go. So we've got some settings already done. Okay, so what do they want? So they say modify the data so to accept only dates in December. So we want to allow a date between December. So that's the 12th. That's the 1st of the 12th to the 31st. I think that's correct. But are we saying only December 2023? So therefore this date is wrong. So we're going to change that. So we're going to want any date between 2023 1201 end date 2023 1231. So that's the one thing that we need to do. And then it says use a validation feature to circle invalid data. Oh, so what is that? I've never done that before. Let's have a look here. I don't see anything here about circles or error alerts. There's no circle option over there. So let's go. Okay, we're happy with my settings being 2023. Let's go. Okay. Let's see if there's something else here in the data validation. Let's click over. Oh, circle invalid. Oh, I think that's going to be the one. Let's click on it. And there we go. We can see all the dates that are invalid. That's not in December. That's not in December. And it just looks like it's those two that are the problems. Okay, so that's great. Then it says we must create a screenshot showing the circled invalid data and paste the screenshot in the H4 worksheet. So to create a screenshot, you can press Control on your keyboard and then the PRTSC button. I'm going to press that now. And then I'm going to go to this sheet over here and I'm just going to come here and paste the screenshot. So we can paste it. I'm going to make it a bit smaller so that we can see it. and make it even a little bit more smaller. So there I can show that I've got those 2 errors over there. So hopefully they can pick that up. I think those were the only 2 errors that were actually in that data set. Okay, so just a reminder, your data validation, you go to data, you go to your data tools, you're going to come here to validation and change the thing, and you can circle invalid data, and there you are. If you want to get rid of it, we can clear the circles, but we're happy with that. So I'm going to click save, and then let's move on to the last question, 4.7. Learners that visited the zoo in a school group on the 9th of December and the 16th of December received a wildlife badge. Use a combination of if and or, they're saying or functions in R12. So let's go to R12. I think we were in the trip on R12. R12, there it is, R12. So there's the badge option. So we want to say to display the message badge if the learners received a wildlife badge. Otherwise, the cell must be blank. So how do we know if they get a wildlife badge? If they visited the zoo in a school group on the 9th of December and the 16th of December, they received a wildlife badge. So when they say and there, they say, obviously you can't visit on both dates. You see the date that you visited, you can't have both dates. So it's either the 9th or the 16th that you visited the school. So if you visited on the 9th, or the 16th, you will get a school badge, but you must be a part of a school group. Is the school group a setting? I don't know. Let's have a look. They're all school groups. So I think it's just a simple if statement. So let's go equals. So yeah, you can see their badge, they were on the 9th. So therefore they do qualify. Yeah, they're also on the 9th. Yeah, the 9th. There's the 16th. So you see it can't be the same day. So we're going to put in a formula equals if they visited, if that date is a 16 or if that date is a 9th of December. So I'm going to use... let's just try the first date. If this cell is equal to the date, I don't know if it's going to allow me to type in 2023 and all that date, 2023. And if we're going to put in maybe we must use the date function. If you use a date function, you can type in date and open brackets and you can put in the year, the month and the day. So if we want the 9th of December or the 16th of December of 2023, remember? So if the year is 2023, and it's December and it's the 9th. So we put the 9th. If it equals to that date, if that date is equal to that date, let's just test if that works. That's actually a 16. So let's make that a 16. If it equals to 16, comma, what must happen if it's true? We want to display the word badge as it is. If it's not that, then we're going to leave it blank, which means we're going to display nothing. We put double quote, double quote. So we should see the word badge appear here. But we want this to work for whether it's 16 or the 9th. So we want 2 criteria. We want this criteria or that criteria where that is a 9. So we're going to use an or because either one can be true. We want or H12 must be the 16th, comma, or this date must equal to the date which is 2023, comma, what month? The 12th month, comma, the 9th day. And then we're going to close the bracket for the date, and we're going to close in the bracket for the or. So that or means either this criteria must be true or this criteria must be true. If one of them is true, then the whole thing's true, which means it'll display a badge. If none of them are true, then it'll display nothing. So there we go. So it works for 16. If I change this to a 9, it still works. But if I change that, to example, to an 8, now it's nothing. So there we know that it works. I think that is the or statement that they want. You could have maybe also, because you know that it's in December, you could have probably, because of the validation rule we just did, you could have maybe just looked at the day if it was a 16 or a 9. I think that technically could also work. I just like to be more, I like the fact that we're looking at the exact date. So yeah, I'll use the date function there and I think it works. I think that's the last question. Make sure we save, make sure that we've done everything. And now we can move on to the access question. If you're a subscriber, don't forget to subscribe to our TikTok channel at Mr. Long Education, as well as our Theory Terms channel at Mr. Long Computer Terms to help you with your paper too. And remember to support us by being a subscriber of this channel as well. And remember, don't do it the long way, do it the Mr. Long way.